Hey everybody, I just want to make an old school rant here. I'm just gonna put it under Warcraft Legends. So today, what am I bitching about today? What am I complaining about a little bit more today? My epic mount. Okay, so let's just take you back and old world mounts show you what it was. Old world mounts, I remember before they did any of these updates and patches, it used to be your mount cost, it says right here, 90 gold. Oh, wow. Yeah, your old world mount cost 90 gold and the training was like 10. So you can just grab the training really easily and then just pay the 90G. I think if you were like exalt or honored or something, there was like a discount. I remember getting mine for like much cheaper, like maybe 60 or something, but who knows. Anyways, though, and then you also get of course there's the 600 one. But then they switched them around for some odd reason. I have no idea why they switched them around. Of course, if you had the skill, that was, handy dandy, wonderful, you had the skill, but the mount cost, a ton of money, so. I don't know why they switched them around now. Like, the skill costs a ton of money, but the mount's really cheap. Like, I remember after they did the switch, I went and bought the Stompike Charger because before it was like 600 gold. I didn't want to waste all my gold on just a different looking mount. Uh, so they did that. And here's a list of the mounts. You had horses, Mechanostriders, Night Sabers, and Rams for the Alliance. And you had Kodos, Raptors, Skeleton Horses, and Wolves for the Horde. Obviously, the humans had horses, gnomes had Mechanostriders, Night Elves had Night Sabers, and Dwarfs had Rams. Now, the only races who could ride the Mechanostrider, though, were the dwarfs and the gnomes, because they were the only smallest races who could ride them. And then eventually, after they did the Switch, BC came out, and they came up with the elephant things and the Hawkstriders, which resemble chocobos from Final Fantasy, which, that's just wonderful Blizzard, team getting lazy there, just stealing ideas off other companies again. Uh, One thing I forgot to mention was, is you're a paladin or a warlock. You had to do this long ass quest that I'm not really sure if it was worth it. I never played a pally or warlock, and you'd get a special mount. Like, let's see, for the paladin, you would do a long chain quest. You got a 41 that was basically the regular mount, and remember, you didn't. I'm pretty sure when you got these, like when you completed the quest, you actually didn't get the skill. You just got an ability to summon yourself on top of a mount. So basically, it gave you the graphic of a mount and gave you the 60% plus speed increase, but you really didn't have the mount skill. So if you wanted to go buy a regular looking mount, you couldn't. And then you had the Paladin Charger and the Blood Knight Charger. Here's the regular one, Paladin one, 100%, long ass chain quest. Like, I mean, you dumped about like, I think it was like, what was it? Like, some paladins dumped like 200 gold into the quest. I never done it or never like got a walkthrough of it, but here's the Blood Elf one. Looks much cooler, but I forgot what the regular Warhorse looks like. I know there's a level 40 mount for Blood Elf Paladins too, but I don't know what it looks like. They don't have a picture for some reason. And you had moving on, you have a Warlock mount, you have the Fell Steed, pretty plain looking, little veins and just a horse on fire, nothing interesting. Then you had the Dreadsteed. Now the Dreadsteed was kick ass. It was like a complete full out demon. Had scales and spikes and fire and armor, and it was awesome. But same deal goes with the Warlock. I'm pretty sure of this though. I'm not like 100% sure. Again, I never played a Warlock or a Paladin that you didn't actually get the skill. You just got an ability to summon the mount. And the quest was long for the Warlock as well. Let's see. Moving on, you had special mounts now. Now there's special mounts, let's see, there is one out of ZG, which I'm looking for. The Swift Rasher Raptor was really cool out of ZG. You had, I think a while back, after so long, they actually made you have the skill to ride these. I don't know if they ever did. But when the skill was really cheap, that's when I bought all my skills, except my Epic Mount one. But I'm getting into that later. So here's the first one. You get this off the Bloodlord. Rare drop. It dropped for me twice, but we had the retarded ass guild rule. only ones who did not have the epic mount could get these. But it's not even like about having an epic mount. This is like the most kick-ass mount in the game back a while back actually. Then you had this Swift Zillion, which is pretty cool. I really wanted one because I always felt like a mage would look awesome on like a tiger or something. I don't know. There's one in Shetrath. There's like the He-Man reference. Go look that up. He's near the Battle Master. Then there was the Winter Spring Frost Saber, which you had to be exalted with these guys, and you had to like do this quest. I think you had to do the quest like 1,000 times or something. Like someone said, 10,000 times, some crazy ass number to get the mount. So yeah, it didn't even look that cool. It was just a different shade. Like it was like one thing I forgot to mention earlier is before a certain patch, all the mounts looked like they didn't have any like super armor, like except the Warlock one and the Paladin one, of course. But they didn't have any armor like they do now. A while back, they used to just be plain, like a horse, and it would just be faster. You know, like the White Steed used to have no armor. People could do the trade-ins for the armor ones, but the ones without armor look cooler. So this one was just like a regular Night Elf mount, except it was like purple or some shit, and then it had no armor. This was my favorite mount. I always wanted one of these. It's the Death Charger. You get off Baron Revendir. There was always a bunch of rumors back in the day about how you had, like, every person who was revered or something was an extra 1% chance for it to drop. And then it was, revered, exalted, and there was, like, a bunch of crazy shit. I've never actually seen it drop. I think the best I've seen off Baron was probably nothing. I don't even think I've seen Baron Revendir's sword before. I may have. Let's see. Next you got the Turtle Mount. I don't see a point for this mount in the game. Unless you're like a low level and want to get mithril spurs and a riding crop so you can actually go 10% faster. I don't know why you would want to. It'd be tons of money. I guess you could look cool. That's the only reason to get it. I actually got one of these and I sold it. Not for much though. So yeah. You got you got the fiery warhorse. Now this is sort of like, let me give a better picture. This is sort of like the Warlock mount, but it's 10 times cooler. Because, I mean, to start, the armor looks completely different and much better than the Warlock one. Because it's not like a demon, it's sort of like a dead horse. Then, instead of the red flames, you got green flames. And, of course, there's, like, weird-ass armor on it. It looks like it has teeth of some sort. I don't even think that's part of the armor. If you look, like, if you could even see my mouse. But, like, in front of, like, right where the mouth is. I don't know. I've seen a few people with it. Has to be a common drop of some sort. Then you got this, the Black Alakaraj, or the Black Courage, whatever the hell, battle tank. Only one person horde and ally side got this per server. It was pretty crazy. You did like do the whole opening the gate quest. Like I wonder like the big guilds who got to do that, how they decide who was gonna do the quest, like who accepted all the stuff and got the quest items and shit. Like how they decide that? Did they just roll off? Did they just use DKP?